of not a part, a short video of this guy Holloman, one of this passport bro, a friend of this J Rello and Floyd, who was caught in Brazil with those allegedly minors and all those things. And this nigga, he was saying the same thing Tariq Nasheed was saying. So I was saying this in many videos already, that these niggas are undercover CIA. You think it's a joke? Let's see it. These niggas said the Brazilian people, they have stolen their culture from black Americans. I never knew this, man. So all these people from the Quilombo in the jungle, my race, all these people, we stole all these things from the black Americans. I even have a part where Umar Johnson is explaining about Orisha. I didn't know that these niggas had culture ever. I thought they wanted reparation because they lost their culture and they have no culture and they don't know where they came from. So that was even a lie. All the culture in South America was stolen from black Americans. They didn't bring any slaves to South America, man. It was in North America. Let's check it quick because these. So we now know where capoeira comes from, for example. So this capoeira comes from this black. And American Austin Holloman. You taught these niggas capoeira, huh? Right? You thought this. Maybe you are more dark even. You are blacker than black. Hey, Austin Holloman. I didn't know that you are a black man, nigga. Is a black man somebody with 1 to 30% colonizer Caucasian blood? No. So, Austin Holloman, you are not black. Is a African someone with 1 to 30% colonizer Caucasian blood? No. So, Austin Holloman, you're not African. So, whatever you thought you was, go look for it at the place of your colonizer, your father. Because you are a black colonizer. Your ancestors were in the army of the colonizer. Let me show you it real quick. If I got it here, man. Where do I got it? Maybe I've got it here. Yeah, look at that. You see, Austin Holloman? I am Ohkano, and you, when your people over there saying you are you, it's not you. The 12 or the 12th tribe is in the jungle in South America where my people live. It's not something from ancient time, from the Bible or whatever. You see there, you are a plantation Negro. Yeah? You see there, look at the end on the bottom. Interaction were the were the source of the new recruits for the Maroon Society, sometimes by the displays. Because many, that's why I will tell these people when they tell runaway stories. Niggas, it was plantation Negroes running away, trying to come where my people live. That's why I say they are children. Many of these people are children of the colonizer. Yeah, Austin Holloman, I'm just showing you that there is a difference between you because you live with the idea that you are black and African of America. You are not. You are a quattrone. Black people don't have Caucasian blood. Black Africans don't have Caucasian blood. So you have Caucasian blood, right? And Austin Holloman. So you are not black. Is a black man somebody with 1 to 30% Caucasian blood? No. Is a African somebody with Caucasian blood? No. So you are none of those things. So black people on anywhere on this planet could not have stolen anything from you because we are the indigenous people of this planet. Africans were the first one created, not you. You are a Negro, a child of the colonizer. You hear that? You are a plantation Negro. You are from the 5 civilized tribes. You don't have a history. You have no culture. Your culture that you think you have as American, as apple pie. Even where you at now, right now, you was in Namibia and South Africa, is built by the same people who built America. These are Dutch people. I live here in Europe. Your name is Holloman. Do you know what Holloman means? Thought so, nigga. That's the craziness with these people. That's why if any black American comes to you to teach them anything about culture, don't. They will steal it just like their ancestors. Yeah, the colonizer is their ancestor, not African. And you see it how they attack Africans when I was saying it, right? Yeah. Rebranding blackness. Hey, so these capoeira niggas from Africa here in Brazil, they are not black, man. Austin Holloman is black. These niggas over there, they are not black. All this culture was stolen from Austin Holloman. They rebranding black. God damn, I didn't know that a black man was a American. I thought they were only black. The one drop rule is only applicable for the Caucasian slave colony. We are not slaves, Austin Holloman. We are not your race, yeah? You are a slave. You are a plantation Negro. My culture formed independently self-sufficient societies within unique cultures. You see that self-sufficient society with unique cultures, language. I have my own alphabet. Living in relative isolation. So if I'm living in isolation in Austin Holloman, how did I manage to see your so-called culture that you don't have? Hence, why are you asking for reparation to repair your life because you was bug broken for 400 years? So even that is all a lie. Yeah, you see, when my people were independent from 1620, the second treaty was in 1760. Your race, Austin Holloman, came from slavery in 1873. In 1863, they became citizens of the United States, and they had to work for 10 years for the Caucasian to bring Indians and Chinese people over there, just like in South America. So I didn't know that all these Quilombo people, these people from Acompon, Jamaica, I didn't know that they had an Austin Holloman and his race, Black Unitas, Black colonizer, the children of Donald Trump, and the biggest rapist on the planet. We didn't know that they brought blackness, man. So these capoeira guys, they are not black. Austin Holloman and his race are black, man. These guys are not black people, man. They are them. So when you deal with the devil, is this kind of people like Holoman here and Tariq Nasheed. Yeah, this nigga even made video that he hates and I show speed because he's in Africa. He was supposed to be the one. And this nigga is using a fucking fuel bot. Austin Holoman, that's why you made the video that and somebody is botting your channel for it to seem like that it's not you doing it. It's you doing it, Austin Holloman. Because when Speed was going live, Speed had like 56,000, no, yeah, 66,000 people when he started. And at the point that Speed's live stream was at 66,000, Austin Holloman's live stream was at 155,000 viewers. So Austin Holloman and the stream was 155,000, but Speed has 84 million and subscribers, and Holloman has 500,000. But his viewers, live stream viewers, are 3 times that of Speed. Speaking about bot views, and this nigga, that's why when everybody saw it, like, hey nigga, are you using a bot? This nigga made a video like, hey, they will accuse me that I'm using a bot, but it's not me doing it. It's somebody attacking black creators. And I thought it was true because black creators, many of those channels were being attacked by bot views and whatever by the so-called FBA guys. Is the FBA guys doing it? The sponsor of Tariq Nasheed group. And this guy is part of all of it. This Duke Jackson, all those American tether, because this is an American tethering of Brazilians, and they even got caught with the minors in Brazil. But they stealing your culture. I didn't know that this your hip hop is stolen sampled music from the Caucasian from the 50s and the 60s. You stole it from DJ Kool Herc. What is your culture, Austin Holloman? But your culture that we know is being on a plantation and getting it up the ass by the Caucasian. Hence, you look the way you look. You hear that, Austin Holloman? Your name is Holloman, a slave name from the Netherlands said that. And you know what black culture was? Is a black man somebody with Caucasian blood? No, so you are not black. Because you have Caucasian blood, right, Holloman? Is an African somebody with Caucasian blood? No, so Holloman, how are you African? Exactly. Are you a mixed? No, even you're not mulatto, because a mulatto is considered to be 50-50. So you are a quatron or a octron or whatever. Nobody knows your culture. Yeah, you're stealing. You're not part of our race. You are so-called bug-broken American. Yeah, go black to America. That's what I would say. You and this guy go black to Africa. Pack your bags and go black to America. Cause only in America you are black. Over in Africa they call you Musungo, right? Don't they call you Musungu in Africa, Austin Holloman? Or Amoebayobo? Or Oyibo? Just thought so, nigga. These niggas are the only one who consider themselves that they were ever black. I didn't know that black mulattoes and quatron and octron people were black, man. I didn't know that. Because if that's the case, Dravidian are black. There is nobody more black than the Australian Aboriginal. Yeah, the darkness, the skin color of the Aboriginal of Australia is like the Sudanese. Nobody is more dark than black than a Sudanese with skin color. But Austin Holloman and his treacherous race children of the colonizer are black now. If Austin Holloman and his race black Americans are Africans and black, the Caucasian of Europe is black. Because it's the Caucasian blood that is in them. Hence, they have no right to get any reparation because it's their own father who has harmed them, who has harmed them for 400 years, man. You hear that, Austin Holloman? So you need, when you, oh, you're not allowed to go to Brazil anymore because you did something over there, just like this Floyd guy who was caught with minors and is now locked up, and you fled Brasilia, right? And Austin Holloman, I've seen your video where you made a video that Afro Latinos don't like you. So that's why after that I've seen you making this movie. I understood that you went there, thought you would mean anything in Brazil, and they told you get the fuck out. The first people who came from Europe to America were Spanish-speaking people. The first European who came to the Americas was Spanish-speaking people and Portuguese. That's how stupid these niggas are. You should have kept it with the minors, where you belong, cause you are a minority yourself. Austin Holloman. That's why these niggas will hang around with minors, cause they are called minority by the Caucasian in America, in the slave colony. Cause even the Caucasian of America is a slave of the European crown. The Caucasian in America are prisoners and slaves of the crown of England and the Dutch king. That's why I am above you. You understand that? Cause I defeated this Dutch king and the English king. You see that? That's why they will tell you that my race is a self-sufficient people. Just like you have Ghana, that's how you have Nduka, where I live in South America. It's a real country with kings. Even the Native Americans where I live, they have their own king. My African race over there have their own king. Do you know our race in Austin Holloman in America? No. You are a slave. You know nothing. Keep being a slave. Know your position. You are not allowed to speak directly to me because you come from the plantation. I am self-sufficient and autonomous. I have my own culture and language and alphabet. The only alphabet in the Western Hemisphere is mine. It's called Afaka. Your alphabet is called Arabian alphabet, which the Arabians stole from the Africans over there in East Africa, from where they now called Canaan, Kemet. Yeah. So let's see this, man. I didn't know that all these Brazilians and these Africans were stealing culture from the real black people and the real Africans of America, man. I didn't know that the real black people were the children of the colonizer and the real Africans were the children of the colonizer. So who are these people and doing the capoeira, Austin Holloman? Because clearly they are not black. They are a different race than you are. They are black or you are black. Which one of you are black, Austin Holloman? Because those people, capoeira people over there in Brazil, they are not your race. Either they are the black one, they are the Africans, or it's you. Because those guys over there, they are not mixed. The one you're seeing there on the screen doing capoeira. There is 100 million Africans in Brazil, and these niggas think they mean anything with so-called. They reporting that they now, first it was 40 million, now they say it's 50 million. We don't care, man. We are with 1.5 billion Africans globally. I didn't know that you were the 1.5 and Africans that are globally. They are being represented by Umar Johnson, Tariq Nasheed, and this Austin Holloman. And let's say I even have a part where Umar Johnson is speaking on the so-called Yoruba culture. So that is also American culture, man. The Yoruba stole it all from Umar Johnson and those guys, while they making stories up like it's their ancestors and a legacy. Because Umar Johnson is not my ancestor people race, man. Never was and will never be. You stupid, these niggas going around sexualizing everything from the Orishas. Yeah, this Shango is for the sex, man. My ancestors didn't know that, man. These niggas from the plantation are now teaching us. The buck broken one had to be enslaved for 400 years and come out and teach us anything while saying they have no culture. Their culture was stolen and they want money for that. But the committer of this crime is their own father, which who they was in the army together committing the crimes in America, killing Native Americans and Africans. Yeah, just say. So you see, all this comes from Austin Holloman and his race from the Buck Broken Black Americans Foundationally Butthurt Buck Broken Busted Open Americans, man. The KKK. Now we see where that all those KKK story about cross burning on this niggas lawn was a lie. I told you they will send their children in to come and steal your culture and bring the Caucasian in. Did I tell you that? Exactly, nigga.
Y'all, Brazil is so black, I literally cannot tell who's Brazilian versus Jamaican, Angolan.
What is this an American woman in Brazil saying that Brazil is so black that she can't know who is who? God damn, man, maybe Austin Holloman never went to Brazil. Because he was the one who brought the 100 million Africans over there. You did all that, Austin Holloman. We didn't know. I didn't know that you was black like my race. I didn't know that you and your race, Austin Holloman, was Africa of America, living in the jungle in a kampong and those places like my race. I didn't know that, man. That we learned everything from your ancestors after they was caged and broken, busted open in their ass hanging on the tree. We didn't know that. Yeah.
Georgian, not Georgian, because that's an actual country. Let me try that again.
These people are the saddest people on the planet. If these black Americans and their father, the colonizer, are not the devil, yeah. Don't you see what Trump is doing? Trump is stealing from Venezuela and saying the Venezuelans stole their land and their oil. Isn't that what Austin Holloman is doing here? Just like Tariq Nasheed stealing Asian Revolution movie and Maroon movie like it was his race? And then try to come out with an KKK and Carl Tucker Carlson to come out and say that they represent. So Tucker Carlson is representing Africans now and black people, man. Because if Austin Holloman is black, Tariq Nasheed is black, and they are being financed and sponsored by MAGA Team Trump and Tucker Carlson, that means that the speaker of the black people on this planet right now is Tucker Carlson and Coulter and Trump. Because black people are obviously the Caucasian now. Because black people have Caucasian blood. I didn't know. Africans now have Caucasian blood, man. I didn't know. I thought they were mulatto and quattrone and octrone. That's what I thought. And European children. That's what I thought, man. That's why they were called house Negroes. Chitlin eating, piggy belly eating Negroes. Busted open Negroes. That's why I say, Austin Holloman, you already uitgehold. You know what that means? You are already uitgehold. They don't need no airplane to go to America. Just lay you in the Atlantic and drive through. Just like I said, nigga. Because you are foundationally busted open. These niggas think they mean anything. The Afro Latinos don't like me. Man, they got the fuck on. Because you are a child of the colonizer. Yeah? Listen here, this is Quilombo. These people are beyond stupid, man. That's why they caught this nigga with the Floyd with the minors in Brazil. Nigga, go back to what you used to do with O'Shea Duke Jackson. Go back to the minors because you are a minority. Yeah, that's where you belong. Birds of a feather flock together.
Y'all, Brazil is so black, I literally cannot tell who's Brazilian versus Jamaican, Angolan, Georgian, not Georgian, because that's an actual country. Let me try that again. I legitimately cannot tell who's Brazilian versus Jamaican, from the Congo, from Georgia. But I guess it's not too surprising when you think about the fact that they have more black people than any other country outside of the continent of Africa. And they also traffic.
What? It's a lie, man. This woman is lying. She just said Brazil has more black people outside of Africa than any other place. And this guy, Austin Holloman, was in Brazil and he did not know that. Oh no, he went there to look for minors like his friend and Floyd, who got caught with the minors while then this one escaped. That's what happened, they allegedly. They said this one escaped, Holloman escaped Brazil, and after that I've shown you the video where he was together with Floyd, cutting his hair. Floyd is the one who got caught with the minors. Like 4 minors or whatever, how many minors there were. And now what they do is they take a bear. They will take a grown-up woman and make videos with this grown-up woman to cover it up. That's what they mode. It's called a beard. It's just like if somebody is with same sex, they use a beard, just like this and PDF guy, they use beards. They will take a woman and for the woman to front like they are a normal, healthy man. But back in the scene, they are doing what Floyd is doing and got caught in Brazil with minors. Allegedly for this guy yet, cause he fled before they caught him. This guy is no longer allowed to come to Brazil, just like Tariq Nasheed is not allowed to come to England and Europe. Even Australia banned Tariq Nasheed. I don't know if it's for the same minor reasons. Because he said it was, and yeah. These people are beyond stupid. That's why I'm showing these niggas this, to let them know, nigga, you are a plantation Negro, yeah? When Africa was colonized, I was in the jungle in the Americas. Your race, Plantation Negro Austin Holloman, was coming in the jungle with your father, the colonizer, to attack and kill Native Americans and Africans of Americas. And after that, you stole the name in 1980 with this Jackson guy, saying that you are the African American now and that you are black. Are the Americans where you live, are you an American or is the Native American the American? Are the Afrikaners of South Africa the real African or is it the black African? Are the people in Australia the Aboriginal, the real Australian, or is it the Austria from Oostenrijk? Yeah, they stole it from you. So these niggas, when you heard about white supremacy oppressing black Americans, it was a lie. Because the black Americans is the white supremacists. That's what I've seen. And that's the way it was back then. They was in the soldier of the colonizer fighting against Native Americans and Africans in the Americas. True. They could only get their freedom by killing Native Americans and Africans living in the Quilombo and Akompong and Ndika where I live. Even if you go to Nigeria, you will find a place called Ndika. You don't you see Ohkano and Ohkano, you have Paramakaner. The ka means Kaner, Kano. Yeah, like Amerikaner. That's why you have Afrikaner, Afrika. You see that? And Ohkano, Kano. Yeah, Paramacano, Puerto Ricano, Africano, Mexicano. Nigga? Yeah, these people are the devil the Bible speaks of, man. This nigga said Brazilians are rebranding blackness. Nigga, you got out of slavery in 1873. My country existed already in 1620 and before that. And Yucca existed. The first country in South America is my country. Even Haiti was in 1804. My first treaty when we defeated the colonizer, the Englishman, and these Dutch people was already in 1620. It was the English people or the Portuguese who came there. We defeated them. After that, in 1680 or so, the Dutch people came there. We defeated them. They moved to a place and they started the Jerusalem on the river called the Yoda Savannah, Jewish Savannah. Yeah, that's why when these guys come and say they are the black Jews, I don't even know how they would be that, because they said it goes to the father line, but the Caucasian whom they have designated to be the devil is their father. But you are black. If you are black, then the Caucasian is also black. So then stop it. Everybody is black now. Because I didn't know that black people had Caucasian blood. I thought they were called mulatto and quattrone and octrone. That's what I thought. Those who went to university and academy, because I'm from the academy. I'm from the jungle and the academy here. So I don't know what you thought you was gonna. So these black Americans think because they were the slave of the colonizer that they still above Africans and Caribbean Africans. No, I defeated your colonizer master, your father, your daddy. Yeah, I was in freedom when you was enslaved. I was even in freedom when Africa was being colonized. You are not our race, Austin Holloman. Speak on your own race about quattrone people. People who have 1 to 30% colonizer Caucasian blood and come from the plantation. Don't speak on Maroon and African and those stories, because you're none of those people. Is an African someone with Caucasian blood? No, so you're not African because you have Caucasian blood. Is a black man somebody with Caucasian blood? No, so you are not black because you have Caucasian blood. Holloman. You're saying, nigga. Know your place.
More enslaved Africans than any other country, too. Come to think of it, they were also the last. Y'all, Brazil is so black, I literally cannot tell who's Brazilian versus Jamaican, Angolan, Georgian. Not Georgian, because that's an actual country. Let me try that again. I legitimately cannot tell who's Brazilian versus Jamaican, from the Congo, from Georgia. But I guess it's not too surprising when you think about the fact that they have more black people than any other country outside of the continent of Africa. And they also trafficked in more enslaved Africans than any other country, too. Come to think of it, they were also the last country to abolish slavery. 20 years after the United States. Well, dang, Brazil. But that does make what I'm about to tell you even more interesting. Because in spite of those brutal, centuries-long conditions, some enslaved Africans escaped and built entire independent towns tucked deep into Brazil's forests and mountains where they could finally live free. And those settlements are called...
It must be a lie, man. own Austin Holloman and his race, the Black American, they went and freed the people from the Quilombo and brought them there, man, into the jungle and rebranded it like blackness or African, because it says Black Land Quilombo, but they are rebranding black. These people are living there since the 15th, 16th century in the jungle. They have been there for 400 or 500 years in the jungle of the Americas. True, and this nigga, yeah, man. When they were speaking about the devil, man, no, we have found them. Real talk. It's these fucking slaves, man. It's these slaves. That's why I keep making it clear for you niggas to see that you are a plantation negro. You see that? When they speak about runaway people, it's plantation negroes escaping and trying to come and align themselves with the so-called Ohkano, bush negroes. Bush negro, plantation negro is made up by the colonizer for them to know who are their children and who are Africans. In Suriname, in the Americas, my people are considered to be Africans. Outside of Africa, I have the only intact alphabet and culture of Africans left. All your other culture is watered down by the colonizer. Hence, I'm saying, how are you black, Holloman? Because you have Caucasian blood, right? So how are you black? How are you African? Unless an African is somebody with Caucasian blood, unless a black man is somebody with Caucasian blood. If that's the case, all Caucasians are Africans also. You stupid ass.
There are more than 40. Y'all, Brazil is so black, I literally cannot tell who's Brazilian versus Jamaican, Angolan, Georgian. Not Georgian, because that's an actual country. Let me try that again. I legitimately cannot tell who's Brazilian versus Jamaican, from the Congo, from Georgia. But I guess it's not too surprising when you think about the fact that they have more black people than any other country outside of the continent of Africa. And they also trafficked in more enslaved Africans than any other country, too. Come to think of it, they were also the last country to abolish slavery, 20 years after the United States. Well, dang, Brazil. But that does make what I'm about to tell you even more interesting. Because in spite of those brutal, centuries-long conditions, some enslaved Africans escaped and built entire independent towns tucked deep into Brazil's forests and mountains where they could finally live free. And those settlements are called quilombos. There are more than 40 just in the state of Sao Paulo, and the quilombo history is part of the region's newest Afro tourism guide, so you know I had to pull up to one. And these weren't just hideaway spots out in the cut. Back in the day, these were thriving communities with farmland, trade routes, spiritual practices, and full military systems. At their peak, there were thousands of quilombos spread across Brazil. The most famous one, Palmares, became legendary. It had thousands of residents.
Palmare? Maybe it was Mare Cano. Palmare. And the Mare people live in South America. I didn't know that these people were the busted open Negroes of the United States who claim to be North American. But you live in Middle America. You live in Middle America. Canada is North America. For those who have brains between their ears. But they've always stated that the Americans are stupid. That's why they are called slaves, the slave colony. Even the Caucasian in America is a fucking slave of the crown of England.
Its own ruler and fought off the Portuguese trying to destroy it. The most iconic figure was Zumbi dos Palmares, who became a national symbol of resistance for Afro-Brazilians. He helped turn the Quilombo into a free black nation operating inside of a slave empire. Come on, black excellence! And these communities still exist. Their descendants live all across Brazil. But survival hasn't been easy. The government technically granted land.
Hey, Austin Holloman, so you taught these people in the Quilombo all these dances when you went there, right? You and Tariq Nasheed, the bug-broken Americans, rebranding blackness while he's stealing the meaning of what it is to be African and black. Is black culture. We didn't know that you had culture because you want reparation because they stole your culture. They took your culture away, so you are the devil. Because the devil is a liar. Oh yeah, but you are the devil. Because you sit and you hate, I show speed, you are a hater. So, only the devil is a hater because of his inability to become anything in life. So you have to go around lying and stealing other people's culture and rebranding it like it was ever yours, like you ever had a culture. Tell us what your indigenous language is in Holloman. I didn't know that Holloman was an African name and a black man name. And I didn't know that.
Rights back in 1988, but Mosteri is part of the region's newest Afro tourism guide, so you know I had to pull up to one. And these weren't just hideaway spots out in the cut. Back in the day, these were thriving communities with farmland, trade routes, spiritual practices, and full military systems. At their peak, there were thousands of quilombos spread across Brazil. The most famous one, Palmares, became legendary. It had thousands of residents, its own ruler, and fought off the Portuguese trying to destroy it. The most iconic figure was Zumbi dos Palmares, who became a national symbol of resistance for Afro-Brazil.
What did she say? Oh, they defeated the Portuguese. What did I say? This was in 1620. I even have a part of a black mixed woman from Argentina who will tell you in 1595 they had their treaty. When the Caucasian came there and told them, listen, we want to farm, because these are farmers. This Caucasian came there to do business, to be farmers, just like in South Africa. They didn't come there to do anything else than to make money. Because they had no money here in Europe. They had famine and the Black Death and all those things going on here. It was the persecution and what was it? The Inquisition, kicking out all the black people from Europe and those things, sending them to Africa and to Americas. Yeah, these people are a sad devil people, man. Born devils like their father, the colonizer, of whom they have 1 to 30% blood and things is applicable out here. Out here, we are not made up races. America is made up in 1776. Here, my country existed before your country, and Juka land existed before your when my country existed, you were still in slavery. Even Haitians were still in slavery. You stupid. Many of those Haitians live in France, Guyana, because Haiti is not far from Suriname. Get the fuck out, man. Where we live there is people they speak French patois. If you go to Maroni, they speak French patois, English patois, and African languages. Yeah. People over there, some are from Ivory Coast, from Ghana, Nigeria, Benin. A lot of these Haitians are from Benin. Yeah. Yeah, nigga. This is we no longer have to look where the devil was, because God said if the devil is not a man, who is he? That's why he restrained the devil on the plantation in a fucking cage for 400 years for us to see while I was in freedom. Nigga, and these bitch ass niggas trying to get to me. That's why I was saying they made up the story that maroon people ran away from plantation. It's them, it's the plantation Negro running away from their ancestor, the colonizer, trying to join my race in the jungle who was there when the colonizer came there. Nigga, are you stupid? The only people who was in Americas before my race is this native is if it's true is this Native American, because when we told them that we was there before the colonizer, they said the colonizer told the story that the Native American was there before my race came there. They was there already 10,000 years ago. That's their business, whatever, man. What I'm speaking about is no black Americans are not our race. They are not Africans of America. They are children of the colonizer with 1 to 30% Caucasian blood. If you have 1%, one drop of Caucasian blood, you are a Caucasian to the Njuka race, to my race. The same law the Caucasian has, my race has it. That's why I keep saying you are a slave. I am not. I defeated your colonized master. Just like England would fight against Netherlands, or England against France, that's Njuka against the Netherlands, that's Njuka against England, that's Njuka against Portugal, that's Njuka against France. Nigga, you stupid. That's why when you was running away from the plantation, the enslaver would connect that you have to send a messenger 7 day upfront. If you go into the Native Americans, you have to send a messenger 3 day upfront. And those people, that messenger would come and say, a slave escaped and we want him back. That's how it used to work. It's just like an extraditing a prisoner. And that's why these dumb caca black Americans supposedly cannot understand, because they are a slave. It's like a slave, a child is trying to know what his father is thinking. That's how I view you black Americans and plantation Negroes. Not even a child. That's the level of your knowledge of being. When I speak like that about your James Small and your so-called ancestors that you have writing books over here. You're writing books of about my race and we exist? Are you stupid? Yeah.
But I guess it's not too surprising when you think about the fact that, y'all, Brazil is so black, I literally cannot tell who's Brazilian versus Jamaican, Angolan. Y'all, Brazil is so black, I literally cannot tell who's Brazilian versus Jamaican, Angolan, Georgian. Not Georgian, because that's an actual country. Let me try that again. I legitimately cannot tell who's Brazilian versus Jamaican, from the Congo, from Georgia. But I guess it's not too surprising when you think about the fact that they have more black people than any other country outside of the continent of Africa. And they also trafficked in more enslaved Africans than any other country, too. Come to think of it, they were also the last country to abolish slavery, 20 years after the United States. Well, dang, Brazil. But that does make what I'm about to tell you even more interesting. Because in spite of those brutal, centuries-long conditions, some enslaved Africans escaped and built entire independent towns tucked deep into Brazil's forests and mountains where they could finally live free. And those settlements are called quilombos. There are more than 40 just in the state of Sao Paulo, and the quilombo history is part of the region's newest Afro tourism guide, so you know I had to pull up to one. And these weren't just hideaway spots out in the cut. Back in the day, these were thriving communities with farmland, trade routes, spiritual practices, and full military systems. At their peak, there were thousands of quilombos spread across Brazil. The most famous one, Palmares, became legendary. It had thousands of residents, its own ruler, and fought off the Portuguese trying to destroy it. The most iconic figure was Zumbi dos Palmares, who became a national symbol of resistance for Afro-Brazilians. He helped turn the quilombo into a free black nation operating inside of a slave empire. Come on, Black Excellence! And these communities still exist. Their descendants live all across Brazil. But survival hasn't been easy. The government technically...
You hear that we still exist, and stupid black Americans who thinks you writing book and making maroon movie, they should go and speak to these people, nigga. These people go and speak to anyone before they made the maroon movies? Exactly, they was just out here stealing and thinking they could rebrand it like they were ever black. Look at Austin Holloman. Is that a black man? If this Austin Holloman is black, Obama is black, and Kamala Harris is black. You stupid. Is a black man somebody with Caucasian blood? No. Is African somebody with Caucasian blood? No. So you are none of those things. Let's make that clear. And I'm going to show a part of Umar Johnson also where he speaks about the so-called Orishas before this black American come out and say that they and the Yoruba stole it from them also, like they were that. So because they are thieves and devils and murderers, like they are in jail and were doing back then in army of the colonizer, they think everybody with that skin color is the same as they are. That's how stupid black Americans are, man. They identify by skin color. They have no ethnicity, they have no parents, they have no father even today. As a black American where their daddy is exactly, they don't know. Yeah, the best child of the world is gonna come out here and teach anybody anything. But you have no ethnicity. Get the fuck out, man. You're not black, you're not African. If you're black and you're African, Kamala Harris is black and Obama is black.
But most communities are still waiting for the paperwork to catch up. I was told some of them are still fighting off attempts to erase their claims. Everything from delayed titles to falsified documents. For example, Quilombo Cafundo is an Angolan descendant community, rich with history, sitting on more than 500 acres, where they're the only people in the world who speak the Kupopia language, which was originally created as a secret code so enslavers couldn't understand them. But only...
It cannot be that they are the only one, man, because they are rebranding the blackness of Austin Holloman and bug-broken Americans like Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed and this small guy who know a small bit, he went there and taught those people that language, man. Because those people must be stupid. They rebranding blackness without knowing it.
Everything from delayed titles to falsified documents. For example, Quilombo Cafu's iconic figure was Zumbi dos Palmares, who became a national symbol of resistance for Afro-Brazilians. He helped turn the Quilombo into a free black nation operating inside of a slave empire. Come on, Black Excellence! And these communities still exist. Their descendants live all across Brazil. But survival hasn't been easy. The government technically granted land rights back in 1988, but most communities are still waiting for the paperwork to catch up. I was told some of them are still fighting off attempts to erase their claims. Everything from delayed titles...
It's the same thing like I was saying in Suriname, because they want everybody to become Afro. Yeah, they want all the Brazilian people to become mixed and leave Quilombo history. They try to erase the Quilombo and the Maroon history. Hence, they pushing out these niggas like Austin Holloman, who are from the plantation and are not Bush niggas. They are not African. They are not Maroon. They are a polluted people, man. See here? Identity pride distinct from plantation descendants. You see that? And often view themselves as equals to European, not even equal above, because we defeated them. Not even because we defeated them. We don't count anyone. The only thing we count on this planet is our God. The rest is kakabe, kaka. That's why I was telling this nigga, your European status you think you're gonna achieve is kakabe, kaka to my people. It's nothing. It's not culture to my race. You beyond stupid. And these niggas think I'm going to the continental. The Africans on the continent were colonized in these days when I was in the jungle of the Americas. Many of those colonized Africans lost their culture just like you. Yeah, I'm the only one and a few one who left with the original African alphabet and culture. Nigga, you see that? Identity, proud distinct from plantation descendants, and often viewed themselves as equals, not often view themselves as equals to Europeans, nigga. We just are. We don't view Europeans anyway, equal or not equal. You don't exist if you're not part of our system, if you're not part of our God. Go away. If I have to view European as an equal, that means that I think about them. Why do I have to think about Europeans if I defeated them? That's why I'm saying these niggas think, yeah, it's white supremacy. It's all over the globe. Nigga, to you. You are a slave. I'm not. If Trump decides today that everybody who was a slave have to go back to slavery, they will not come and bother my race. They will not come into the jungle of South America and demand that. They will not go to the Native Americans where I live. They will not go to the Africans where I live because we are autonomous. Nigga, the Otomfo of Ghana just came there. The Niger king, I don't know if but the Tichamba king even came there looking for his bloodline. Because many of these people didn't even know about the Caribbean. They thought everybody was taken to North America. That is the scam. Well, it was that these people were brought to South America. Yeah. Speaking about the devil, don't you see that they promote the black Americans with Israelites stealing everything? The Lion of Judah is now American. Is no longer of this Rastaman in the jungle. Is American now. Speaking about the devil, you don't no need to look for no
falsified
devil,
documents. For example, Quilombo lost the Portuguese trying to destroy it. The most iconic figure was Zumbi dos Palmares, who became a national symbol of resistance for Afro-Brazilians. He helped turn the Quilombo into a free black nation operating inside of a slave empire. Come on, black excellence! And these communities still exist. Their descendants live all across Brazil. But survival hasn't been easy. The government technically granted land rights back in 1988, but most communities are still waiting for the paperwork to catch up. I was told some of them are still fighting off attempts to erase their claims, everything from delayed titles to falsified documents. For example, Quilombo Cafundo is an Angolan descendant community, rich with history, sitting on more than 500 acres, where they're the only people in the world who speak the Kupopia language, which was originally created as a secret code so enslavers couldn't understand them. But only about 150 people remain in the Quilombo. I was told a lot of families left because they're exhausted from constantly battling to keep what's theirs. Not freedom getting caught up in bureaucracy and internal colonialism.
You see that? That's why if you go where I live, every time is 100 times more expensive than in the city. They do that for the people in the jungle to leave the place, for them to go there and steal the gold. That's what they're doing. They've been doing it, and once in a while they will send maybe 2 million or 1 million Spanish and prisoners or Portuguese prisoners to Brazil to go and have children with black people over there to make it more mixed. Yeah, that's what they've been doing to become more like this and stupid American over there that doesn't know where they come from and going around. They rebranding blackness, nigga. If they rebranding blackness, it means that blackness comes from American. We didn't know that Americans were enslaved, man. I thought it was about enslaved Africans, but these bug-broken jackoffs think they can make it about them. It will never work because you are a cursed people. I cursed you. My ancestors did it. You don't have to go out there and look for who did it. Nigga, that's the real talk. Let's see here if this is the one of... oh, this is a woman speaking with Tariq Nasheed. Let's listen to it quick, and then I'm gonna play the part of Umar Johnson, wherein this hollow man said, and Africans are stealing the culture of Umar Johnson. I will show where Umar Johnson is explaining the Black American culture, man, that the Yoruba has stolen from
March,
them.
all because he couldn't turn in a permit the right way. So one, I don't know no grown-ass man who still uses a Yahoo email account as a business account, and I definitely don't know a grown-ass adult male who would use KFlex number 4 for life. Like, that's some MySpace shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's already, like, he's already, like, debunked his own self. Like, I don't even know why anyone's taking him seriously. And number two, right? So we know he's a demagogue, right? We know he co-ops already existing movements and leeches onto them, and then he'll sit there and tell y'all, and y'all are asking him, how are y'all going to get reparations when he himself is not a reparations expert? Y'all, and then he's trolling y'all and telling y'all not to troll him back. So if he can dish it out, y'all can give it right back to him. Y'all do not have to baby this guy. He is no one. This is why we need to have a standard in the Black community, period. When anyone comes into the Black community and grifts, you get rid of that motherfucker. You shut him out and you choke him out. There's no way he should be given like any kind of mic or any way.
You hear a slave screaming you a tether there? So what he's doing is he's letting you know that he'd rather be a slave of the Caucasian than to be an African or a real black man, because they are not real black men. A black man has no Caucasian blood and an African has no Caucasian blood. That's a mulatto or octron or whatever, man. Just saying. You hear that? So anything happens to this guy, you are allowed to laugh about it, because they think they can come out and ridicule anyone. So yeah, who is ridiculous on this planet? I thought they were marching to become equal like the Caucasian, like the European. Check there. What they looking for. And my people, we don't even count European stuff, man. European is just another tribe to my race. Like every other tribe. That's how we view European. Just another tribe. Another bloodline. That's their business. They came, they fought the war. We defeated them together with your ancestor, Austin Holloman and Bug Broken Tariq Nasheed. Yeah.
Explain or any way to rebrand so he can get more followers, because that's the only reason why he's here. He's here so he can get content for his YouTube and so he can convince his people that he's still the same person who can drag Africans. Don't give him that chance. And everyone's questioning him now. Everyone's like, man, if he's this guy who should know how to handle business, how come he can't send an email? All you got to do is hit reply. He couldn't even do that right. And not only that, if you look at the dates of the email, they're literally a month apart. If he really wanted to do this rally like he said he did, he would have followed proper protocol and get that shit done. The sad part is, right, is he kept saying how he had other people working for him. You mean all y'all motherfuckers can send an email correctly to get a rally done? And then not only that, once a brother who had good intentions to get it done gets it done, instead of having his people be like, all right, y'all, my dumb ass don't know how to spell, so I fucked up. I also don't know how to get a good email. I decided to use my MySpace email, so they didn't take me seriously, right? I also don't know how to write an email, because if you look at the format of the email, I am Tariq Nasheed is not how anyone with any common sense writes an email. But we'll let that slide, right? Because not everyone is on that level. But like he demonstrates every day, right? So the thing is once that happens, right, he should have told Rashad, you know, brother, you did what I couldn't.
And we must not forget, tethering means to cling on to something. Like a slave is clinging on to their slave master begging for money. That's a tether, American tether. Clinging on to Native American land of whom you know is stolen from and saying it's yours. That's the devil, because you are a liar and a liar is the devil. Just saying. Oh yeah, and you said the Caucasian was the devil and you are his seed, so yeah, you are the devil's seed. Just saying, Tariq Nasheed.
We're gonna go ahead and follow your lead. No, instead, he sows seeds of doubt, right? He starts talking about, well, you know, the thing is once that happens, right, he should have told Rashad, you know, brother, you did what I couldn't. I got you. We're going to go ahead and follow your lead. No, instead, he sows seeds of doubt, right? He starts talking about, well, you know, family, the FBI's is why I couldn't send an email. And it's like, no, it wasn't. It was because your dumb ass didn't know how to send it correctly. And if you would have done it in a...
You see, every time he will say the FBI is coming to his house. Tariq Nasheed's house was so-called raided because of a prank call or spoof call or whatever. That's what he said. But every time you turn around, this nigga is busy with the FBI, even with the Harkabe. Going to the FBI, but you said the FBI was coming to you, and your organization movement is FBA sponsored by MAGA and Tucker Carlson and Ann Coulter and Nick Fuentes. Heritage, look up the Heritage movement. It's FBA with the Caucasian face, and the Heritage movement is FBA with black face. Manner,
you would have gotten permit like he demonstrated. Because what ended up happening is he posted these emails, right? And when people pointed out, like, bro, you didn't even send it to the right place, he deleted them. So if you look at his post now, he deleted them because he knew he fucked up. And instead of getting on mic and be, you know, someone of integrity and be like, you know what, y'all, I'm dyslexic, I fucked up. No, instead he's like...
How could you expect anything from the devil? Just saying.
Downing another black American. So when he tells y'all like, oh, these Africans for us, look at his behavior. Who has been the number one obstructionist to reparations? There is no point in time, if you look at the history of reparations, which started off as a
Yeah, because CARICOM was fixing it, and in CARICOM, they know many people like Dominicans. Many of them are mixed. That's why they are doing it with a crime against humanity. They not out there that I make videos even telling them in Suriname like in my culture you're not allowed to go and collect money for deceased people or people who died or whatever or just like the parents of Trayvon Martin got like $2 million. In my culture you're not allowed to take it because we have God. Our God will fix it. Yeah, that's the difference between you and I. Here, Ohkano and Diucano. Yeah, when you come out here saying you are the Jew, if you go in the jungle, there is Jew tribe over there. One of the singers was called and Lanche La Mora Sounds. You hear the name? La Mora Sounds was his band called. La Mora Sounds. Okay. Go back to your baby crib, nigga.
movement, and if y'all know who Queen Mother Moore is, y'all will understand how we got here today. There is no point in time in which we tied immigration to reparations. It never happened. It wasn't until these grifters came along, sponsored by the far right, who then co-opted the movement. Why? To sow division in the black community. Why? So that he can get people who used to be on the fence about reparations. Now you have people not even wanting reparations anymore. You got people questioning reparations. You got people fighting about reparations. You got people scheduling fights on the fucking streets in LA. Instead of scheduling time to meet up and strategize about what reparations look like. You got people downing HR 40, the only study that's up for federal. That's like y'all think for reparations, right? He's not helping that. Instead, he's doing exactly what Breitbart, Sinclair, and P-Fair pays him to do, and that's act as a grifter and a
Do you hear that? You thought I was the only one who's seen the video because Tariq Nasheed was making videos back then, like 5, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, that the Caucasian wanted to give him money, a big bag, so he would attack foreigners, black foreigners, plantation Negroes. Yeah, that's why they had the plantation. These niggas were being cultivated. It's called fokken in Dutch. Fokken. Look it up and translate to English. You will see it's like when you have cattle and you cultivating them to become something that you want to. They were not allowed to read, so that's why they told them the Africans sold you into slavery. And now don't you see it's still going on in their mind? If you talk to a plant, anytime you talk to anyone and they are so-called black Americans, if you want to know if it's a fake one, after a while they will tell you, your ancestors sold me into slavery, man. Even to my race, they will say that. If they meet my race, the Ohkano people, the Yuka people, after a while, if I'm together with the plantation Negro, they will say the same thing. The Africans sold us into slavery and the Maroons ran away and left us behind on the plantation, man, to die. And what? Nigga, when we came this slavery ended because my race was destroying the plantation. Are you stupid? You was in the army fighting against me to keep slavery alive in the Americas. Even someone wrote on one of these video, Buffalo Soldiers. Go listen to the song of Bob Marley. Buffalo Soldiers stolen from Africa, brought to America, in the heart of the Caribbean. That's Tariq Nasheed, 5 civilized tribes. That's why they would bring you to the islands, and if you was a so-called wild man, you could not be broken. They would say that's an African, he is a wild man. When they say that, they mean you are from the village. You have village mentality, like you have your own god. They would send you to Brazil and those places. If you was working along, going along with them, agreeable, they would send you to North America, to United States, because so-called rebels were not allowed to be on the mainland. Yeah, they would keep them. That's why if they would catch you in Brazil on the mainland, they would send you to one of the islands. Because on the islands there is a little to no jungle, little food, you might die quickly. That's why they would send you over there. Stupid. Yeah. These niggas are beyond stupid,
vice
man. Yeah.
person within the community who then co-opted the movement. Why? To sow division in the black community. Why? Has been the number one obstructionist to reparations. There is no point in time, if you look at the history of reparations, which started off as a Pan-African movement, and if y'all know who Queen Mother Moore is, y'all will understand how we got here today. There is no point in time in which
Exactly. That's why I was like, hey, that's why Tariq Nasheed, he used the red, black, and green first together with Saneter. And they brought in these black Americans, but the Caribbeans is called CARICOM. CARICOM exists. I don't. That is a little boy I know about CARICOM. Fighting. It is the city Negroes in Suriname have been fighting for that. But me, my tribe, we are not allowed to take money for the seas people. That's we leave that for our God. That's how my tribes function. Those other tribes, if they wanna go and take money for that, it's on them. That's why I'm making my videos like, hey, if anybody wants money for deceased people from slavery, it's on your own bloodline name. I'm washing my hand from you. You're not part of my race. That's how my people live. It doesn't matter if you blacker than black. If you do evil, we will disown you. Just like you see the Hindu doing, it's the same thing in my race. Yeah? If you do evil, you break our law, they will tell you, extradite you to the city. Like, nigga, listen, you have become a Negro, you live like a Negro from the plantation, because the plant is a factory. Where do you have factory? In the city. That's why it's called plantation. It was factory, working in a factory like a car factory in Detroit. Those people are slaves. It's a modern type of slavery. To sweet slavery, sleeping slavery. Do not hurt them. Let them sleep 6 hours a day, and they will go to the car plant and work themselves to death, and lend them money. That's the trick they used to do, even with the Hindus and the Chinese and the Indonesian people when they brought them to Suriname. They would get a small loan to buy food, and when they would work, they had to pay the colonizer for the food they got in up front. So they just like a record label is doing with the rappers today. It was the same thing. It's all the same thing, nigga. That's your stupidity that you don't know this. That's why it's forbidden for my race to learn to have the teaching of the Caucasian. It was forbidden by our king in those days to go to the city, because we had to stay 10 hours away from them. They had to stay 10 hours away from us. That's why it's written there in relative isolation. Nigga, to get to my people, that's why you have to message my people 7 days up front. Otherwise, we have the right to lay you down. That's why I'm saying you are a slave, nigga. Are you stupid? If any Caucasian would break that rule to come within 10 hours of where we live, we are allowed to lay him down. Nothing would happen. That's the difference, because they know the law. We are not the only way the Caucasian could punish my race, my people, if we go to Paramaribo within 10 hours of their city, and and they catch you, then they are allowed to do whatever they want. But mostly they would tell the king of my people, send messenger to my people and tell them, one of you guys is here in the city committing crimes. And the Gramang, the king, the grand man, the highest man, he would say, okay, punish him over there, or no, extradite him to me and we will punish him over here. You see that? That's how it used to be, and that's how it works with my race of people. If you bring something different to the so-called Bushney, they will say, no, we don't want that. You cannot come and make law for my race. Yeah, these runaway slaves were just plantation Negroes who were tired to be on the plantation, mostly this field Negro Malcolm X was talking about. Or maybe a soldier like these Haitian the soldiers, the black hunters. Sometimes they, even in Suriname, some black hunters would kill the colonizer and escape to my race, to my people. And there was an island called Poligudu, and then they would send those runaway slaves from the plantation to Poligudu to stay there for a year on an island. After the 1 year, they would be like, okay, we know you didn't act like you run away, because many of them would act like they're running away to know where we were in the jungle. And after a few minutes or hours of days, the Caucasian would appear and capture people and bring them to plantation. You see that? That's why there was never trust between Ohkano people, Saramacano and Jucano and Paramacano, those people with plantation Negroes. Nigga, They could only become a part of our tribe after being a year on an island if they ran away from the plantation. That's why I often will say, no, Maroon are not runaway people. Maroon, to be marooned means to be stranded. They are marooned in the house. He is stuck in the house. The color you see on my floor there is maroon. Even the background is maroon. It's castagna brown is called, but it's red, but yellow and black. It's all this color at the same time. You see that? Maro. If you go to Suriname, you have even Native Americans who are called Maro Indian, Mare Indian, or Maro Indian. They have the same kind of name, because where we live there is like Marowe in Africa, but over there it's called Marowe na. You see? We na Maro, we are more, we are Maro. We are for the Caucasian, it's something like Mali, like malice, darkness, malicious, darkness, black, Mali, X. You see? Or return to black. X that thing out. You see? It all mean the same thing, just like my name there and the Yuka. Oka. That's why you have a word like Kaba. You see? The Kaba. You see that? But anyways, man. So you guys, I'm gonna show you a part where Umar Johnson is talking about this so-called Orisha stuff. But it would mean that these people are stealing it also from Umar Johnson, maybe, man.
Immigration to reparations. It never happened. It wasn't until these grifters came along, sponsored by the far right, who then co-opted the movement. Why? To sow division in the black American. So when he tells y'all like, oh, these Africans for us, look at his behavior. Who has been the number one obstructionist to reparations? There is no point in time, if you look at the history of reparations, which started off as a Pan-African movement, and if y'all know who Queen Mother Moore is, y'all will understand how we got here today. There is no point in time in which we tied immigration to reparations. It never happened. It wasn't until these grifters came along, sponsored by the far right, who then co-opted the movement. Why? To sow division in the black community. Why? So that he can get people who used to be on the fence about reparations. Now you have people not even wanting reparations anymore. You got people questioning reparations. You got people fighting about reparations. You got people scheduling fights on the fucking streets in LA instead of scheduling time to meet up and strategize about what reparations look like. You got people downing HR 40, the only study that's up for federal. That's like y'all think for reparations, scheduling time to meet up and strategize about what reparations look like. You got people downing HR 40, the only study that's up for federal. That's like y'all think for reparations, right? He's not helping them.
Exactly, and it was downplayed by Yvette Carnell. Yeah, because Yvette Carnell was the first one who came and said, and we are not Africans, man. Every time we speak about black people, it must be about Africa or Caribbean, Jamaican. We have to be ourselves. We are a new people now. We have been mixing in America, and now we are a different people. That's Yvette Carnell of the ADOS. Then this came with the ADOS movement. And then this Tariq Nasheed went along with it. Even Doggy Diamonds, man. Doggy Diamonds was hardcore Pan-Africanist, all these things. When he saw FBA, he made even a video like, yeah, man, I had the feeling all along that these Caribbeans and these Africans, they ain't really down with us, man. Man, they live like that everywhere. Don't you have the Bloods and the Crips over there? Do they get along? Wasn't the Hutus and the Tutsis fighting? These people are beyond stupid, so they are like women, man. These niggas want you to claim them like, no, we don't, nigga. I can't even think about it. Are you stupid? You just a man, nigga. Live your life. If you can't make it, go to the Caucasian like you're doing right now. Just don't mention our name like we are the same people. Carry your shame alone. That's why I'm making these videos. Yara Tariq Nasheed, you and this black American, carry your shame alone. The world will not think that you are part of my race. That's why I'm making these videos. For everyone globally and everybody to know that these black Americans, there is other black people in America called the so-called Bush Negro. They are the Africans of America. Ohkano people, Ohkano. Yara? Yara, you have Sarah Macano, just like I said, Puerto Ricano. It comes all from Aka. Let me not speak about it. It's yeah, before these crazy niggas go out there and start saying and rebranding their stuff. Yeah, let's watch how when the Yoruba rebranded and Dr. Umar, not yeah, Umar Johnson.
Here's
stuff.
what I
Let
think.
me see where I have
me and Tariq are cool now. But from my point of view,
this is DJ Flat, and cutting Tariq Nasheed heart deep, man. Cause everybody is seeing this nigga is so stupid. He thinks he's doing something other didn't try yet. Even DJ Flat is seeing through all this nigga fuckery.
I think Tariq has figured out over time. Here's what I think, and me and Tariq are cool now. But from my point of view, I think Tariq has figured out over time that if he uses this one particular angle of, okay, foundational Black Americans, I'm totally going to go all in on this particular philosophy that this is ours, it's nobody else's, and I'm going to attract people who feel that same way, he could sort.
And that is allowed, but then why did you sample Caucasian music to make hip-hop? Why did you steal from DJ Cool Herc and saying it's yours? Why are you wearing dashiki? Because it's not yours. Why are you claiming Native American ground unless you can disprove that the ground you're walking on is of the Native American? Bring your proof. Prove all things, because you said you from the Bible, right? The Bible says prove all things. Oh no, you have a slave Bible, Tariq Nasheed, I forgot. So DJ Flood, what he said is he's pimping the hood, nigga.
Well, I write about this a little bit.
This is one of the sponsors of Foundational Black American. Look up this woman named Ann Coulter, and look, this woman is KKK in the 10th power, man. This Ann Coulter is KKK in the 10th power. Yeah, from Fox News. Let's hear it, man.
Mugged about racial demagoguery, and also in Adios America about immigration. And that is the important point he should have made is that the entire purpose of affirmative action, set-asides, civil rights laws that limit constitutional rights to freedom of contract, freedom of association, all of that was to make up for the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow. So unless these benefits are going to, roughly defined, foundational Black Americans, the descendants of...
You see who started all these things? Yeah, that's why I'm saying all these things you see Trump is doing. This was all the campaign for Trump. Yeah, to get immigrants out. That was the only goal. Immigrants have to get out. When these people are immigrants themselves. I was in America before most of these Caucasian people came there, man. That's the craziness. These people, they just came there and rebranded everything just like this Holoman. That's why I'm saying I'm making the difference known between me and these guys, man. Because they think we are the same. Here, rebranding blackness. Who is rebranding blackness here? And Coulter KKK. Let's hear it, man.
American slaves, freedom of contract, freedom of association. All of that was to make up for the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow. So unless these benefits are going to, roughly defined, foundational Black Americans, the descendants of American slaves, you've taken away the whole purpose of this. And that is exactly what's happened once we got this huge load of immigrants. Now, a Thai who arrived on Wednesday will get an advantage applying to college, applying to corporations, over a heterosexual white male in particular. That's the biggest hate group. But any white American. And all of the civil rights laws have been, and affirmative action and so on, have been twisted into just anti-white hatred and open, egregious discrimination.
Did you hear what she said? She started with the foundational Black American and it turned into anti-white hatred. Okay, it's what she means. White is a status. She means Caucasian hatred. Okay, but who was doing it? Black Americans or immigrants? What she's complaining about is from BLM. What do these immigrants have to do with BLM? It was Tariq Nasheed and Coulter fighting, and they came together to fight against immigrant. And then saying now that the immigrant would be the white supremacist or the black supremacist. I thought that was the Black Panther in America. So when it's something bad, it's the immigrant. When it's something good, it's the Black American and Caucasian of America. It's them. You see the devils here? Yeah, man. So see who told Tariq Nasheed all these things. Yeah, that is a part of somebody made a video. I had a part of it cut out. You see there. That's the real talk.
So to make the point that Kamala isn't a foundational black American, I'm always pointing out to black people, hey, have you noticed Indians are getting all the good diversity jobs?
And that's what I was saying. If Kamala is not black, she is mixed. All these people who are 1 to 30% Caucasian blood are mixed also. Because a black man is not 1 to 30% Caucasian blood. Black people don't have Caucasian blood. Africans don't have Caucasian blood unless Caucasians are Africans. 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 1 is 3. That's why they were called mixed people, Malato, Malati. That's why you have places like Malaysia, even America, Morocco. All these Moroccan people are mixed, Africans and Turkish people and Caucasian. Just like those Brazilians over there with Spaniard, Native American, and African. That's this Dominicano, many of them. You see that? Kamala Harris is Indian, Jamaican, so Indian, African, and Caucasian. These people are beyond stupid. What difference is Kamala Harris to somebody like me from the jungle than Tariq Nasheed? They have the same behavior. They respond the same to me. That's the key point. If you go to if Tariq Nasheed go to a village in Africa or Kamala Harris go to a village in Africa, it will be the same effect because they are perceived the same by the villagers, like Caucasian people. That's why even if Tariq Nasheed goes to Africa, they will call him Musungu or Oyibo. That's why they will use words like Akata because they see the outside behavior in your behavior. It's the same in Suriname where I come from. These bush Negro, as soon as you do something wrong, they will tell you, hey, you live like the plantation Negro, man. You have no culture. You don't have way to conduct yourself. That is what you have no culture means, where we come from. When they say you have no culture, they mean you don't have way to conduct yourself. Yeah? You don't have guidance. You are lost. You are a Negro. Yeah, you just Negro, man. I am Ohkano. That's my ethnicity. You see that? That's what we mean, nigga. Just say.
We do to Indians. We didn't enslave them. I mean, most of these.
Tell us what you agreed to take that money this early in a primary, which is unprecedented. You know this. How unprecedented. Because I got a call from the Foundational Black American Society here in Florida who reminded me that Byron's mother is Jamaican. He is Panamanian, and they found it quite insulting, in their words, that he would try to claim victimhood of slavery without a single descendant of American slaves in his family.
I like those foundational guys.
They're so good.
Tariq Nasheed and all. I mean, I don't agree with everything, but
You see the picture now? Why I placed this picture of this other guy's video there? You see who likes Tariq Nasheed all the while? Just saying. He's not only liking him, he's licking him behind the ears, ne? Let's check how when this guy said and they stealing. So this is what I mean. This is what Umar Johnson is doing. That's why I was saying this is all made up what Umar Johnson is saying about Orishas and all those things. What Austin Holloman said, it was stolen. So yeah, let's see where I had it, man. Where did I have this? Yeah, man. So rebranding blackness. That is what this video is all about. So we will see here that and how the Yoruba stole the culture of Umar Johnson, man. Because that's what you mean, right? And Austin Holloman. And Latin America stole black culture. We didn't know. Let's hear it. Maybe all this culture, what Umar Johnson will be lying about, because this is made up fantasy. That's why I was saying this James Small. This is all lies. What he's gonna do is try to sexualize feminine energy, male energy, Caucasian psychology stuff. Where we come from, we don't know no feminine energy and male energy. Energy is energy. Just saying. But now that's why I'm showing you this difference between Bush Negroes with their culture and what you see here is a plantation Negro, Umar Johnson, coming out speaking on behalf of Bush Negroes culture. You see that? That's what I mean. That's why I'm making the videos. It's like a Chinese and giving lecture about Japanese culture, or a Japanese giving lecture about Vietnamese culture. or Russian giving lecture about Dutch culture. You see what I'm saying? Talking foolery, and then say hit the cash app. The ancestors told me foolishness. These niggas, what they speak is exactly what a Caucasian would say when they encounter my people, cause we know them. That's why I see the same response like, hey, this nigga's doing the same thing the Caucasian was doing, seeing my people and saying they venerating the sun, and it's raining, it's Shango, man, because I have a symbolic thing here, just like they wear a cross and think, and that because they have the symbol, it will already, oh yeah, whatever, man, yeah, let's hear it. So, Austin Holloman, let's see how the Latin Americans stole your culture, and in this case with Umar Johnson, man. I didn't know that all this Yoruba things was of the Black Americans, man. Yeah, god damn it.
Hit the one. Some people don't want to know that they Obatala children because they'll never touch that weed or that alcohol again. Let me skip to the part. Obatala is righteousness. All of us are born under one of these spirits. They are sent with you as a guardian angel when you incarnate through your Bible and the Quran, or after the divinities of the Yoruba pantheon. So I'm an African being that is within you. We got to have a way African people can get help for their problems without being forced to swallow religion. So when people come to me with an issue, I don't give. See him touching on her? This is all grooming. I don't want to belabor this. Let me bring up one more. There's 3 of these videos, but you guys really hear him.
Yeah, man, this is this Lennon Honor guy who's been exposing Umar Johnson for 5 or 10 years now. Let's hear it, man. Yeah.
Go, there we go.
Yeah.
You're gonna be that. That is so beautiful. And do you have
regeneration and resurrection of African people? The what? Dietary and nutritional. There you go. Let me give you guys a quick example. Oh no, it was December. Okay, let me just scroll down here. Yeah, here it is. You don't know who you are. Yeah, he looked like a straight crackhead right here. Real talk. Another great man said, you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going. You see that? And so here at FDMG, we're going to teach agricultural and agronomical science, dietary and nutritional science. There you go. In fact, where you're standing right now might be one of our small student farms right here. Here he go. Small student garden. That's going to be a student farm. If you don't, Umar, stop playing. You play too much.
Yeah, man. It is sad, man, because all these things what he's saying when he gonna speak about the Orishas, the nigga is made up foolery. This is, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Why do you have to do that? That's going to be a small student farm where she's standing. This guy be lying. He lies so much. In fact, where you're standing right now might be one of our small student farms right here. Okay, small student garden. So agricultural and agronomical science, dietary and nutritional science.
And that's what I mean. This nigga, they do the same thing. He draw Marcus Garvey, all the known and people of history, of African history, and put them himself in front of them. That's what all the Black Americans do. They all do it. Just like I said, these fake Israelites all of a sudden came out. They saw the Lion of Judah in South America with the Jamaicans there. They told the Jamaicans, you are now the Benjamin. We are Judah, man. Took the lion like it was ever theirs. Like we are the same people. That's why I'm showing you this. See that? Bush Negroes and Plantation Negroes. And the Plantation Negroes are out here acting like they are my race. Speaking on Maroon like, yeah. Yeah, man. Sad.
You looking at him like, you political and military science, economic and financial science, science of the black man, woman, and child, culture and community. Here you go. Spiritual and astrological science, which we talked about earlier, making sure they understand the Orishas as the antennas of God. I'm going to be the history teacher. And the reason I'm going to be the history teacher is if our children graduate from this school. He's making this shit up on the spot. But watch how he tries to...
Plus, this nigga used to even fight against the Israelite that God is not real. What did God do for anyone, blah, blah, and all those things. It's just like Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed said in one video, I think, or somebody said that Tariq Nasheed has become a priest now or whatever, man. Tariq Nasheed is now a priest, man. From pimp to priest. You believe it? Yeah, man. So these niggas, they have no culture. They think they can do all those things, making things up without consequence. That's why they do it. Because they think it's a fantasy, like symbolic, like when they go to the Caucasian church. That's how they think everything is in the village, in the jungle, is a superstition. Like the Caucasian taught them. That's what the black Americans live like. That's why you have fools like this Bob Broken Holloman saying that Latin Americans are stealing black culture from black Americans. They got most of these Latin people. Yeah, let's see.
Get at her, as we used to say. He's trying to groom her.
Even if they know how to be a plumber, even if they know how to make their own music, even if they know how to edit video, even if they know how to grow their own food, if they don't know who they are.
Pure creative juice. What in the world?
Yeah, but who will they know who they are? Here, hence this. You are a plantation Negro. All these things, that's why I was making the video saying, all these things you do in Pan-Africanism, my race is autonomous. All those things you're doing is for city Negroes, plantation Negroes, fantasy. That's why when you started to make this Maroon movie, I had to come and tell you, nigga, we have our own kings there in the jungle in the Americas. We don't acknowledge anything any plantation broken Negro children of the colonizer is doing. Because y'all niggas are black colonizers to my race. Understand that? That's the difference between bush, so-called bush Negroes and plantation Negroes. Your daddy came up with those names. The colonizer. Yeah?
What in the world? I'm this. Sex and money. I've been
Because this is the campus of Oshun, the divinity of love and abundance and trust and intimacy. I believe that the past 400 years for African people in America and globally has beaten us down. Myself to who I hear at FDMG, which is something that the most honorable Marcus Garvey. That's why at our school, no one is allowed, teachers or students. And even though it will be a boys' school, it will evolve into a girls' school. And even though it will be a boys' school, we will have female staff and teachers. But nobody can wear artificial hair. You see that?
See him touching on her?
Nobody can wear artificial hair. The boys, the girls, the teachers, nobody. We have to be natural. Because I believe that the one thing we got to sell back to our children is maintaining the youngest people. We have to change that. Because even with the culture, even with the Pan-Africanism, because if we don't address the illness that you have from your parents, your home, your siblings, yourself, the spiritual self, and because this is the campus of Oshun, the divinity of love and abundance and trust and intimacy, we're going to be that.
Girl, don't see him. He talking intimacy. Girl, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Please.
We're going to be that.
That is so beautiful. And do you have a vision of how you can translate this? Let's say we get you in a position where you're in power and you can actually make some differences. What are 3 major differences you'd like to try and make to instill these principles?
Excellent question. Number 1, because I'm very much about structural change and individual change, we have to create a council of elders. One of the biggest reasons why our community is so dysfunctional, the elders are not in charge of it. The elders are our council of elders reconstituted. Brother out of Philly.
Yeah.
Shango is the divine. All you see is all white. Brother Manny was with us.
I don't want to belabor this. Let me bring up one more. There's 3 of these videos, but you guys really hear him.
Hey, Austin Holloman, we're gonna look now how when the Latins and the immigrants, and this nigga is a tether, an American tether in Kenya or Namibia or wherever he is. He was in South Africa, going to Brazil. And they stealing your blackness. I didn't know that then somebody with Caucasian blood was black. Or because that's why you said Kamala Harris was not black and Obama was not black, right? You said they were mulatto. If you have Caucasian blood, what are you then? Hold on, man. Just say it. So you're barking up the wrong tree.
Now in this one. I mean, it's clear in that one too, but this one, how he paints this narrative, and he's using Ifa as an example. Well, it's Ifa. He's using Ifa and the different deities as a way of grooming this young lady.
You see what I was saying? What these black Americans are doing with so-called African culture? They will make up lies and go out there like it's really their culture because they think it's fantasy without consequence. That's why they doing it. Yeah? It's made-believe, man. It's superstition, man. Yeah.
And then we get to why y'all here. We painted this gym about 2-3 years ago. We had a paint day. People volunteered. There was about 13 of us. We knocked it out over the course of about a week, I want to say. Right. Brother Manny was with us. You remind me of Brother Manny a little bit. Real good brother out of Philly.
Yeah, rest in peace, Brother Manny.
Fair skin brother. Good brother.
Yeah, even the terminology that Umar uses, fair skin, this is the colorism aspect. He's a colorist.
He passed away January before. Did Manny pass last January? It might have been 2 years now. 1 or 2 years. Rest in peace to my brother Manny. 1 or 2 years. Time fly. But he helped us paint. When everybody finished, he went behind everybody and cleaned it up. He passed in a car accident in North Carolina. So rest in peace to him.
Yeah, rest in peace.
So the colors you see are after the divinities of the Yoruba pantheon. So I'm an Ifa devotee. I practice the spiritual system of the Yoruba coming out of Nigeria. Like you have angels in the Bible and the Quran.
Hey, I thought he was rebranding Black American culture and the blackness in Austin Holloman. Or is Umar Johnson saying that he took the Yoruba culture from Nigeria and making up story as he goes? Because that's what he's doing. Shango is for the sex women and all those things. That's what made up everything of these plantation Negroes is just like what the Caucasian doing. It's feminine and male, and then these two are doing this made up foolery. And they think anybody is taking them serious. That's why I'm making this video. Like, nigga, stay in the city with your fuckery. That's what I'm saying. Don't go out here making movie about my race, my own movie like you're one of us. Yeah, we clearly not. That's what I'm saying.
We have Orisha, divinities created by God to help us fulfill our destiny on this earth. So, the first color you see is all white. The reason why white, Obatala is righteousness. All of us are born under one of these spirits. They are sent with you as a guardian angel when you incarnate through your mom. You got to find out which one walks with you because you carry the quality.
Oh, he looks, boy, look at him. He look like he gonna turn into a werewolf of women.
Qualities of that energy, right? If you find out you are a child of Obatala, you cannot drink, you cannot smoke. There is no intoxication. Obatala children must be upright and perfect.
Okay, that's not you. We know that for sure because I can pull up a video of you smoking and.
Man, what this guy is saying is fantasy. It's Caucasian talk. That's why I'm saying nothing about the Black American is African. What he did is go to Nigeria or Ghana, wherever, or there in America they have a Yoruba community. He learned all these things, and this is his understanding of what he thinks. It doesn't work like that where we come from. It's like where we come from, our culture is like baking an egg. Every time you have to get the same result, like science. Nigga, that's our culture. That's why I keep saying our culture is real God. Live in God. Not fantasy. Yeah, I'm a prophet, but okay, heal someone. No, I can't, man. Then you're not a prophet. I'm a babalawo. Nigga, that's fantasy, man. Nobody where I come from is taking that serious. That's why they know, hey man, that's Negro talk, man. Caucasian talk.
You trying to get that gin. Hit the one.
Some people don't want to know that they Obatala children because they'll never touch that weed and that alcohol again. You feel me? When you Obatala, there's no room for error because you are the example of divine righteousness. That's Obatala. I'm going to go from that side. Blue and white. That is Olokun. More of Okun is Orun Mila. Orun means heaven. Mila means messenger. Orun Mila, messenger of heaven. Now, when God created you got a good job coming. You got something here. Because I'm supposed to be a priest as well. I'm initiated, but I still have to get trained. We are the Babalawo.
It's not possible to be initiated into a priest. You can only be initiated to an assistant or a medicine worker, a medicine man. That's something different. Working with leaf, if somebody got belly ache, you will make a concoction and give them. That you cannot become something that you are not born to be. That's foolery. You cannot be initiated into anything. Yeah, that's fantasy. You cannot become babalawo. Yeah, you are born like that, or yeah. Is everybody in life a doctor or a lawyer? That's the fantasy of these black people. We were all kings, man. Yeah, where? Nigga. That's why when y'all doing your things, don't bring in my people with maroon talk in your talk, man. Cause it's foolery. Not even for a child where I come from would come out and accept these things, man. It's all foolery. I'm being initiated to become a babalawo. Where? Nigga, is it in your bloodline? Yeah, man.
father of secrets. We're the
Okay, you're not a Babalao, so cut it out.
ones you sit on the ground with, and we cast for you to see what's coming up into your life.
You see what I was saying? These niggas, if they think being a psychologist will bring them money, they will promote themselves to be psychologists. And they will fight against natural things. And this guy used to be in Islam. Didn't he know about Yoruba before Islam? Exactly. When he thought there was money in it with Malcolm X and those guys, he went there. After he saw hey, with Marcus Garvey, I can make money also. He started promoting like he's Marcus Garvey. I'm now the prince of Marcus Garvey legacy or whatever he was saying, Pan-Africanism, prince of whatever he was doing. After he saw like, oh, now it's fashionable to be a babalawo in these days of internet. Oh, I'm a babalawo now, man. Just like Tariq Nasheed. He was a pimp when he saw, hey, it's making music is money. I'm gonna become a rapper, man. Oh, being Pan-Africanist makes money. He became Pan-Africanist. Hey, no, man, I need to become FBA. That's Tariq Nasheed MO. The same thing they all doing. Polite, Tariq Nasheed, this Umar Johnson. He got like $5 million. Where is the money? Exactly. Just saying, man.
To see if it's a true comparison, because none of these were human beings. Whether male Orisha or divinity. Shango is the divine impersonation of leadership. He's the king, he's the ruler, he's the emperor, he's the Oba, he's the ladies' man, he's handsome.
See this?
You see what he's doing? Sexualizing again. He's the ladies' man, the Shango stick, man. But I don't know that culture, man. That's why I'm saying those people who are accepting this must know that we are not the same. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm making the video. We don't live like this. Craziness taking our culture. Our culture where we come from is for in-house. It's not to display like this and telling fantasy story. Lying all the way like you. It's like taking the Bible, going out there and conning people like the fake priest in the church, in the Catholic Church, misusing children while acting like they are priests. These niggas are no different. To me, that is. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm making the videos showing you the difference. In America, there is Bush Negroes, Maroon, Ohkano people, and there is Plantation Negroes, children of the colonizer or black colonizer. Better said, because they were in the army of the colonizer, besides being the blood of the colonizer, blood children. Yeah, just saying.
This is Umar. He's setting all this up because he's Obatala with the Obatala sheikhs. Or what is this? Is he Ogun or Obatala? I can't remember.
He's the emperor. He's the Oba of leadership.
Exactly. Tariq Nasheed has the Ogun juice, but he hates Africans. That's what I mean. This Tariq Nasheed hates Caribbean Africans, Caribbean people, but he was in the Caribbean and in Brazil, making movies, printing movies, and music. That's how devilish these people are, man. They will use everything they can to go and make money. That's why they were called the crack generation. Crack babies. Damaged brains babies, man. Yeah. This nigga is now from psychologist to babalawo or whatever he said or whatever. The same MO like Tariq Nasheed. Even the Polite was becoming a monk. I have a video where Polite went to some place, I don't know, Thailand or somewhere, where he was gonna become a monk to come back and help people. Yeah, man. And these black Americans think anybody takes them seriously and starts including my race in it. Don't. That's why I'm showing you this. My understanding of life and yours is completely not the same. Not even a little bit, Umar Johnson. And I'm saying Umar Johnson and Tariq Nasheed because you are the leaders of the black Americans over there, foundational bug broken Americans. That's what they say, and it's on paper, so yeah.
He's the king. He's Shango.
Oh, Shango, because you know Umar loved talking about Shango. Room 130.
Shango is probably the most popular male Orisha or divinity. Shango is the divine.
And this is what I mean. Where we come from, we don't know no female and male Orisha. Energy just is, God is. That's what we know. All this male female thing, and keep it away from my people, man. God is God where we come from. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because what he's gonna do is tell you this one is the male energy, this color is male energy, that color is female energy. We don't know that. We don't work with those foolery. Our God is real. It's not something symbolic like these niggas be doing here. And oh yeah, maybe he's not rebranding blackness and Holaman. Yeah, maybe the Yoruba stole this from Umar Johnson. Just saying. That's why when you come out here saying the people rebranding stuff, start with Tariq Nasheed stealing Maroon history and Haitian Revolution. Start there, nigga. That's what I'm saying. Because you are an American tether. You are over there tethering of the African and blood and sweat while you are now in Namibia or Kenya or wherever you are. After going to Brazil there with your Floyd friend. Nigga.
Impersonation of leadership. He's the king, he's the ruler, he's the emperor, he's the Oba, he's the ladies man, he's...
Ladies man, what? What you mean ladies man?
I told you these guys live like the Caucasian. That's the ladies man god over there, man. Yeah. Everything these niggas come out to do has to do with getting women and money. In my culture, we don't do that, nigga.
And he
Yeah.
be getting in them guts.
Yeah, man.
He be raw dogging. Umar, stop. You're talking about yourself. Stop it. He got a gang of baby mama. He living in mama closet. And say, Umar, you don't stop with this foolishness. John goes, the ladies, man. Okay.
Handsome. He's the good orator. When he shows up for the party, everybody want to dance.
He's an orator too? My goodness.
Shango is here. He represents masculine leadership. His element is thunder, lightning, and rain. When it rains, Shango make it rain. God gave him the ability to make it rain.
This is more like Wikipedia spirituality. Because this information is what it states on Wikipedia. It's just like what I'm showing you there. Bush Negro Ohkano. That's Bush Negro name and Plantation Negro is made up by the Caucasian. The story said that Maroons ran away was made up by the Caucasian. Yeah, what we know was what you see, the relationship with Plantation engaged in guerrilla warfare against colonial troops. You see that? Yeah, that's what we know. Relationship with Plantation engaged in guerrilla warfare. You hear now why I'm saying those are Plantation Negroes. These are not my race because of it was war. That's why when if we are engaged in guerrilla warfare, how can a Plantation Negro then be my race unless my race was captured from me and brought to the plantation? That's why I was saying those soldiers of the plantation who come into the jungle, capture people and bring them to the plantation, my people would go there and bring our people back and burn down those plantations. That's why they gave us the treaty like, hey, stay in the jungle 10 hours away from us, we will stay 10 hours away from you guys. That's that treaty. You go there and stay there. That's been the last 500 years like that. Nigga. So all these things y'all think y'all gonna come here and say, it's all, yeah. I must play a small part and then I'm gonna leave it at that. So I was showing here how Black Americans steal stuff. This is how DJ Kool Herc was doing his hip hop thing, and those Black Americans took it and rebranded it like it was theirs. They sampled Caucasian music from the 50s and 60s, made their beats with it like it was theirs. Coming out now, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying if you know anything about culture, I would never teach a Black American because they will go and steal it. It's in their blood. Nigga. Because you see what Umar Johnson is doing here. He's making the whole Yoruba culture about him. Just like he made the drawing I was showing in the beginning with Marcus Garvey, all those known people from the Pan-African movements, and then place himself in front of it. He doesn't draw the icons. No, he will draw himself as the biggest icon in front of them. Why, if you are the biggest icon, why do you have to lean on them to do what you think you need to be doing? If you are that big, Umar Johnson, why do you lean on Marcus Garvey? Why didn't you just come out and lean on your own name and come on with your own education system? Because this thing about black boys doesn't come from Umar Johnson. It comes from an older Black American. I've seen that video like 15 or 20 years ago, where a Black American was speaking on the school to prison pipeline. It's stolen by Umar Johnson, just like he's stealing Yoruba culture right here. That's why I'm showing you this, how they steal these things, and then think they can open their mouth against anyone. And they doing this because the Caucasian told them that we are so-called blood related. Not because they know it. But you are the biggest one out there. Why don't you lean on your own culture? This is Yoruba Nigerian culture. Those people in Brazil are allowed to use it because they are mixed with those Nigerian. You, Umar Johnson, you are mixed with the colonizer. You are a black colonizer from North America, man. You see that? And Holoman, I'm gonna leave it at that, man.
Make it right. He be making it rain in room 130. Let's go.
When it thunders out, if you're a child of